Hi everyone and welcome to another Division video. Today I'm going to talk about my hardwired Seeker Mine build. I put it together, it's been a little bit tricky getting everything I needed in the right place to be honest, but I feel like I'm at a place where I'm pretty happy with it. My skill haste could be a little bit higher and I'll point out where that could be along the way. But here's the build, and what we'll do is straight off the bat we'll do a damage phase so you can see what kind of damage it's outputting. And we'll proc absolutely everything. So this is best case scenario. Spiked. ETSU go red. There we go. Throw the mine out. Boom. Why would the damage numbers not show? Oh, it's not scrolling. There we go. So they're the damage numbers. 2.2, 2.2, 2.2, 2.1, 2.1 and 2. Got some healthy damage numbers there, and just so you know, again, like without spiked and without rooted, because that'll be on cooldown now. This is a general world scenario, because obviously you're not going to have everything procced all the time. It's not scrolling for some reason, but there we go. 2-1, 1-6, 2s, 2-1s, 1-9s. So you'll find that Seeker damage is really random, to be honest, but the place I wanted to get this to was, you know, the 2 million mark to be happy with it. And with me using hardwired set and in rhythm on one of my guns, my skills in the shooting range, it doesn't work very well. When you're out in the field, they're never really on cooldown. You're very unlucky if you get them on cooldown. But I'll talk about that a little bit later on. So just for transparency here, very hard, which is challenge. And heroic there for the health. You'll notice I'm using demolitionist and not the new skill based spec, and I'll just go over why very quickly. So with this one you get 10% skill damage here and you get some extra skill power. They're the only two things really in the new spec that you would be interested in with this for this build. But as you can see, I'm way over the 3000 mark on both that I would need. Granted, my mods aren't very good, but even with really good mods, I've got more than enough skill power, and I've got a lot of room actually to be able to squeeze a bit of extra skill power in if I needed to. Essentially, I've got too much skill power and I need to squeeze in some more skill haste. So that's why we're not using that. And the reason we're using demolitionist is, if I go into this, is basically for the 25% increased explosive damage. I did try this out with the Pyromaniac for my secondary gun. Doesn't really add to it. I very rarely fire my guns in Furnace. Spiked is just a happy side effect if it happens. And obviously having the grenade launcher is great for extra added clearance, because essentially that's what this build is. This build does struggle to be transparent against heavies and dogs to an extent. So you know, do be mindful for that. But if you really wanted to, I would be tempted to drop a couple of charges on my hive and run my eagle bearer to kind of help in that scenario at this point. So first of all, we'll go with this gun. This is the send off. This is actually a blueprint that you can get, and it has perfectly rooted on. This is the reason we're running this. So while equipped and in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 30% for 15 seconds. Buff is lost when exiting cover and can occur once every 60 seconds. It does have spike on as well, which I said is kind of a nice side effect, which is an extra 35% skill damage for 20 seconds, and it requires more than 5 yellows. And obviously we're way above that. To get that blueprint, it's in the field research and it's level 4. There it is at the top. So you just need to get to that for that. My other gun, like I said, I was running the Pyro. It's not a very good Pyro in Furnace, but the reason I was running it, I wanted to get recharged out, and it adds an extra 3 to my hive. So it is worth it. But like I said, if you're struggling with heavies and things like that, I would switch out for an eagle bearer. Or maybe I would switch to, you know, this 416 and put spiked on it and have spiked on both my guns. I might try that and see how that works out, because that could be a good alternative as well. On my D50, it was just so I've got in rhythm. While equipped, enemy kills have 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. That adds to the hardwired bonus, which I'll talk about in a little while. But them two things essentially are what keeping my skills up pretty much all of the time. There is a third backpack skill that you can use to add into this build if you really want to, which is that one there. Skills have a 25% chance to reset. Skill kills, sorry, have a 25% chance to reset skill cooldowns. If you feel like you really have a lot of downtime, because obviously we're not very strong with our guns, then you could throw this in as well. But essentially, I found that using tech support was better for the extra damage because it's very rare that we are down. We'll talk about the backpack actually while we're here. So this is the perfect version that you can get, the Alps one. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can still get a 2 yellow mod slot and a 2 yellow attribute standard Alps. I think it's called the Trek, Outdoor Trek backpack, I think it's called. Please let me know below, I'm not sure off the top of my head. I don't actually have one. I've got the bad variant, the mountain hiking one, which has an offensive mod slot. Essentially, want as many yellows as we can for extra damage from the BTSU gloves. So I put, it rolled quite high skill here, so I was pretty lucky. And I put 749 skill power on it. Perfect tech support, and it came with hard hitting. This could be devastating if you wanted it to be, and then you could interchange that with your chest talent. Either or, doesn't really matter which way around that is. BTSU gloves, I'm not going to go over them. There's plenty of videos around on the internet on these and where you get them. Basically from any Black Tusk mission, these have got the chance to drop. But obviously they have 2 mod slots that are yellow and a defensive mod slot. So we've got a 4 hardwired. We'll go over the hardwired set bonus first of all. So 2 pieces, 20% extra skill power, which is why we definitely don't need the skill power spec. Then we've got tamper proof, which electrify your deployed skills. It does help a little bit if the heavies are going near them. It doesn't really put them off for that amount of time though. So yeah, not really too fussed about that. Just a nice side effect of having to run all 4. Feedback loop is the bit we're interested in. So killing with a skill resets the cooldown of the other skill. We don't do any healing, so we're not need to be fussed about that. But then when a skill cooldown ends or reaches full charges, gain bonus damage and repair to all skills 15 seconds. This is pretty groovy. It's kind of nice. It works in, you'll notice that your damage fluctuates a little bit, and it's obviously feedback loop kicking in. So on the mask, I went with some DTE and skill haste. Essentially, either or as high as possible for this. And a yellow mod slot. When it comes to mod slots, I won't really go over the mod slots too much, but you want as much explosive damage in these as possible. This is kind of one of my best mods, 3.5%, so they're pretty poor. And when I come to the stat sheet, you'll see that really you could probably be at 40 or 50 more explosive damage higher than me. And this is hitting for 2.2 mil now, so I'm fully expecting that people can push the barrier of 2.5 mil, maybe even get close to 3 with this build. Chest piece, unfortunately we no longer have the ability to have 2 yellows on a chest piece like these ones here, which would have been nice. These are TU5 chest pieces, and it would have been really nice if I could have got this one on there, but unfortunately not. They're a thing of the past. So TU6 got rid of them, so we're back to 1 yellow kind of rainbow chest pieces. Like I said, these are alternatives here, destructive or hard hitting, either or. But I can't change my backpack to destructive, unfortunately, and otherwise I would rather swap to one of these, because as you can see, that's got 5% headshot damage on, that's got 5.5% weapon damage on. I'm stuck with crit hit damage on this one at the moment, so I will swap for one of these eventually. Just not quite yet. So it's skill power on the chest, as much as you can get. That can go like 900, I think, or maybe even 1,000. Explosive damage is a must, and then again fill your mods up with a good firearms mod, depending on what weapon is going to be your primary. A good defensive one, depending on what you're low on. I could probably do actually with switching some of these to health, just in case, because I have taken this into the dark zone and it works fairly well against other players as well. It wasn't primarily meant to be a PvP build, but if I run into somebody that's running a bleed build, my health is way too low, so you have the option there to switch out your defenses for some health. And then obviously explosive damage in the mod. I haven't got one in this one. I've got reload speed and bleed damage. Really your secondary attribute that you want to be going for is the bleed damage. because your hive inflicts bleed now in TU6, so it's always good to have some extra bleed damage in there if you can't put explosive in. Hard wide holster, 4 yellows, absolutely brilliant. So some really good skill power on this and some skill haste, and then 2 mod slots. Like I said before, you know, if depending on what other drops I get in the future, I'll lower my skill power to, you know, close to a 3000 and bump up this skill haste as much as I can. That's kind of the min-maxing that I need for this build now. I went over the backpack before, I went over the BTSU gloves. And then for the knee pads, we're just on 19% skill haste. A mod slot again, you know, explosive damage and bleed damage on this one, not very good, but every little bit helps. And then a defensive mod slot. Right, for the moment, my Seeker Mine is a 14.6 second cooldown, which I obviously can bring down a bit more, and they have a 409k damage on them, and I've got 9 of them, which is nice. So I'll show you how I've modded this up and what can be actually be better. So 6 extra custom mines, this is, you know, pretty much needed. Get at least 5 or 6 in there. A good skill haste mod in the middle. Don't need any you know, power batteries or anything like that. And then this could be 99, I think, or do they roll up to 100? Please let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, get a one close to 100% as possible in there. That's what you want for that. And then over on the hive, you know, the refill speed's 4 seconds, so really quick on this. 8 charges, actually go up to 10 because of this here on the pyro. And the range on this thing is huge. I put in a mod in. So essentially I wanted this spec'd up for damage. Again, not even close to 100% on this one. The radius is kind of important. It really helps out with staggering the enemies with a big radius. And skill power, which I don't need, and I'm not running that spec, so I can't make the radius even bigger. So, you know, obviously I could get some extra charges in if I could use that on here. So I need a better mod on this side, that's for sure. But for now, it works. And I'll just run back into the range and just show you the range on it. Pretty much almost covers this entire space. There you go, look at that. The range is huge, gives you plenty of okay, so I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to include a clip at the end of me doing, which mission was it? It was one down. It was one of the invadeds down here today. Oh. Oh. Jefferson Plaza? It wasn't Jefferson Plaza. Invaded. DCD headquarters. There we go. There's this one over here. So I'm going to include a clip of me doing this at the end. Just do the beginning bit essentially to show you the skills resetting and how good the build actually is against, you know, real life enemies, unlike the fake DPS range. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you did like the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Any comments below are always appreciated, good or bad. You know, hit the bell if you want future notifications on more videos. And you can catch me almost every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/djtickle. I'll throw all my other socials below, my Discord and my Twitter and things like that if you want to come and hang out and say hello or play with us even on PC. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Okay everyone, I'm still at the beginning of DCD. I'm just going to use the beginning of this mission because it's a heroic this week, and I'll show you how effective the build is. Run in, we're going to throw a hive to proc our BTSUs as far up as we can without being noticed. Get into cover. It's a bit rooted, and already a lot of them are already dead, but watch how quickly the fire hive out again. So that's all, it's already got charges back. throw our mines out again, which hopefully something will reproc and we'll get them straight back. We should get our mines back. There we go, mines are back. Mines straight back at that point then, and that's kind of the theme that you'll notice. I was a little bit unlucky at the beginning, to be honest. These guys don't want to attack me, so we'll just push up a little bit. And it just really is great fun. It's really good fun in a group as well. If there's a couple of you running it, you know, you don't have to worry too much. Worry about heavies a little bit. Worry about doggos a little bit. Nice. It's a nice explosive mask. We'll keep that. But yeah, just have fun with it. Remember, you've got your grenade launcher. Use that. If you've not got rooted on, use your AR. You know, flip between your weapons and just get used to how it runs. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Again, please consider subscribing to the channel if you did like it, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.